Hi everyone, it's me Sarah. Thanks for joining me again for my next video, which we're going to do contouring. I haven't got any makeup on again today, so I'm going to quickly put on my foundation base. So we are going to use the Royalty Toning Spritz. We're going to use the Royalty Moisturiser. This is the renewing moisturiser. We're then going to use the Touch Primer. I'm going to use a little bit of concealer, and then I'm going to use my liquid foundation. So I will fast forward this bit, so I'm going to apply it now so you can see what I do quickly, and then we'll go on to the contouring, okay? So because I haven't applied the concealer on camera, if you look at my foundation base, I didn't have any concealer. I'm just going to show you how to apply the concealer and where to apply it. The easiest way to apply it is with your finger or a brush. You only need a very tiny amount of the concealer, and I'm just going to put it in under my eyes in a V shape. And down, I'm going to go a little bit further down onto my redness of my cheeks. So I'm creating a V shape from one corner of my eye to the other, and just working that in down. I'm also putting a little bit around the corners of my nose because I get redness there as well. And a little bit on my chin, just a tiny little bit. And then I'm just going to make sure that's well and truly rubbed in. You'll see I'm using the my ring fingers to do any of the soft, delicate areas around my eye. It's because the ring fingers are the fingers that you apply least amount of pressure to, and because we don't want to do pulling and dragging or any like nastiness around our eyes, because that makes the skin saggy, we use the ring fingers. So that's a good tip. Okay. I just had my hair cut this morning, so I'm probably going to get bits of hair all over my face as well. I am one of the lucky ones. I don't have many spots or pimples, so I don't have to cover those up. I've got a tiny little one here that I'm going to just show you, if you had a spot, how to cover that up. So you just take a little bit of the concealer and literally just dab it, press, a tiny amount, and press. And then you can work around the pimple. Don't go back over the pimple because that will take the product off and allow the redness to show through. What we're trying to do is cover it up, and any extra marks that you can see where the concealer is should be then blended in when we do the foundation. So again, where have I got a pimple? Say this one around my eye. So I've got one just there. I've literally just got a bit of tiny bit of concealer, and I'm just pressing my finger on it and then just working around the redness. And you can see that actually that's, well, I don't know whether the light might be highlighting it on the camera, but certainly from my perspective, it's actually, you know, sort of got rid of that spot. So that's great. Okay, so I'm going to go back on with the Touch Liquid Foundation now. So we'll I won't fast forward this bit because I've actually got my new brush, which I wanted to show you. So this is the liquid foundation brush. You'll see there's a little tiny hole in the center of that, a little well here. And this is where our liquid foundation sits in. So we just squeeze a bit of that in to the dropper. We drop 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 drops in. And then that's that for there. And then we dot it around our face. And once we've got that evenly distributed around the face, then we can start working it in. And you'll immediately see, if you watched my foundation video before, how well this brush is working in. There's no streaking happening at all. There wasn't really that much with the other stippling brush either, because I really worked that in, but because this brush is so good and there's not that much streaking going on, I can actually get this distributed and worked into the skin much quicker. And obviously the quicker you can make the job, the easier it becomes. So I'm just working it in around my nose and around the hairline, making sure that that is well and truly covered. And of course your jawline. And as I said before, because I've got a good skin colour match, I don't have any lines that you can see. So hopefully you'll see that that's now covered up well. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the contouring. So I'm going to demonstrate today the sculpting trio. Okay, this is the sculpting trio. It's in colour light. It comes in 3 densities of colour: light, medium and dark. And because I am velour, I need the light contouring. So that's the light contouring. We have 3 colours within the palette. We have the dark cream, which is for creating shadows. So around this area and around the forehead and down each side of the nose, we'll use that. Then we have the highlighting powder, which just lifts certain areas. And then this final cream at the back here is the 3D cream. So that will add real lift and light to certain areas of your face. Directions are on the palette, which is great. And you also get a leaflet with it, the Sculpting Trio leaflet, which again shows you in a bit more detail where to apply. So that's your dark, that's your highlights, and that's your 3D cream. So what I'll do is I will photocopy this. I'll take an image and I'll put the image in the contours box at the bottom of the video so you can have a look at that. So we're going to start with the contouring. I've also got my amazing contour brush. Again, it's really soft hair. So the pony or goat's hair, can't remember which, but really soft brushes, which makes the application much more fun. So how do we use this? So we're creating shadows in the face to just add definition and create a bit of you know, I don't know, it is just definition sort of around the cheekbones. We're hiding some of this area, the jowl area and maybe double chin area, and we're also creating more definition on the shape of our face. So my face is pretty round, so I'm going to take a little bit of the forehead off here, and I want to just, if I define these areas here, that will add length, so it'll make it look a bit more long and slimmer, hopefully. It's not going to work miracles. So anyway, with the I wish it did. With the brown colour, the dark colour, the shadow, I'm going to put some on my flat end of my brush, okay, and I'm going to work that into the cheeks there and round, and then I'm going to work the top in almost like a heart shape around the hairline. I've lit my face up lovely with the light on the camera, and now I can't really see very well, so never mind. So I'm probably going to look much darker than I intend to, but hopefully you'll get a better idea of what it looks like. So working in along the dip of our cheek, and as I say, that's creating almost a shadow, so like a false bit in. I'm hoping you can see that on camera. it's a bit more dipped in that side than it is that side. And because we're creating this rounded bit here, it's just lengthening my face a bit. And it will look funny to start with, because obviously we're applying the colour, but then we will blend it all in afterwards. Okay, so then more of the dark. I'm going to do that along our jawline here, only up to join where our natural dip of shadow is in our chin. So otherwise we look like we've got wonky chins. And then I'm going to work this up to meet. So you're creating almost, so it would be a 3 that side and an E that side. So that is the contouring, the dark that side. Just go over that bit a bit more. And then we're going to thin the nose down a bit, because I've got quite a rounded nose here. So I'm going to thin that down. So I put shadows down this side and this side. I'll do this side first so you can see. That's the beauty of this brush, because it's nice and thin this side. You can create quite thin lines or thicker and blend it in. There we go. So I'm just going to show you that now. And hopefully you'll be able to see the difference. It's not going to be, I haven't done it so that it's very, very intense. You can make it a bit more defined. You could go for the darker colour if that's what you prefer. But I'm trying to just create a softer, natural look so that it's not too harsh, because otherwise I look like a bit of an idiot. I'm a bit too old for the hard definition, especially for everyday look. So we're just looking for a little bit of softness there. So I'm going to do the other side now. So that's the shadow that has made a little bit of definition there. As I say, if you wanted to make it a bit more defined, you can add it darker colour, but it will require more blending. So now we're going to add the highlighter, which is the powder, and we're just going to pop that under our eye onto the sort of the highest part of our cheekbone, just to lift that. And we're going to do the other side. Highlight and lift. We're also going to put a bit of highlight onto this area here. Down our nose. Along our brow bones. Top of our brow bones, under our chin, and in between the two dark bits here. There we go. I will just put a bit under there as well. Okay. And then we can just work on blending to make sure we have got it well and truly blended in and we haven't got too many harsh lines. So if you've got a bigger forehead, you can obviously bring the contouring down, so if your forehead's up here, you can bring that all the way across here, and that will actually make the forehead look a little bit smaller. And then just finally, I use my finger. We just dab on the highlighter, the 3D highlighter, which really does add a lot more lift, brings the cheekbones and the highlights out a lot more. So we work that around the brow area, the highest part of our cheekbone. Also put a bit here and down the nose to the tip. The other side here, along the brow bone, along this part of our cheekbone. I find this one's easier to work with using your fingers because you can sort of, the heat will help to melt it into the skin a bit better, otherwise you end up with big blobs of it. Along our Cupid's bow, just here, and on the bottom of the lip. So just in there. And that's it for contouring. So I'm hoping that's made a little bit of difference for you to see. If you need any more information, just give me a bell and I'll see if I can help you. Thanks for watching. Bye.